Alright, what's up, guys? Let's get into a trade recap of July 20th, 2026. We took this loss today. Really rough loss, but I want to look at this setup short that played out before, and I want to talk about that because I was going to take it, but I'm going to say why I didn't take it. And honestly, it was a really good trade, but let's get into it. So, on the daily time frame, we have a very obvious daily fair value gap here that we want to come and fill and then maybe continue lower. So that was the obvious draw for today that I wanted to see get hit. So I'm temporarily taking longs up to that daily fair value gap right here and then taking shorts off of it. However, MES was inside of a 4-hour bearish gap right here and we were rejecting off of it. So that could tell me that we could just see shorts from here and leave that daily gap behind. So going with that mindset, and we have a few key levels here to take shorts. We have this hourly fair value gap right here. We have the daily gap, which is right here, and the 30-minute gap right here. So what happens at market open? Well, at market open, we instantly manipulate higher, maybe getting that Judas swing off of these gaps here. We hit the hourly gap and the 30-minute gap, and we get a 1-minute inverse to the downside. However, the structure wasn't the best, so I didn't take that and waited. We got a resweep of this high, so we got a liquidity sweep inside of an hourly fair value gap, which is pretty textbook, and then we formed a 5-minute fair value gap right here, which could be used as a good break-even point. So the 5-minute fair value gap was right here. Now all you're waiting for is a IFVG, right? Well, you get a clean IFVG right here. Off this 1 minute, we get the IFVG. However, some people waited for the next candlestick close with momentum. And you could have taken this all the way down to 930, which was what I was going to do. The 930 wick was right here with that wick. This was what I had charted out. Now, why did I fade this? Obvious break-even point with the 5-minute unmitigated gap, right? So once it came and hit that gap, then you could have went stop loss to break-even. Very close break-even. Why didn't I take this? Well, we were only like 25 points, or from where I'm entering, we're at 144 here, or 29,144. We're only like 50 points away from the daily unmitigated gap. That's the reason I faded it. Yeah, like if the daily gap wasn't here, I'm taking this all day. This is a perfect setup. However, I just didn't like how close we were to this unmitigated daily gap. But the argument also was, well, since we're so close to the daily gap, we should come hit this 5-minute fair value gap right here, which is our break-even point, to then continue higher. So if that happens, we will at least get a break-even trade. And if it doesn't happen, then we just run to your take profit. So that's what I was thinking while I faded. And yeah, I mean, it played out, but just I didn't like how close we were to the daily gap. But yeah, I mean, I guess with that idea that we're going to hit the 5-minute and then continue higher maybe, then this trade could be valid. But honestly, I just didn't like how close it was. But let's get into my trade. Well, I took a worse trade than this, right? Well, we still had this daily DOL above, which is still intact. And then pre-market scenarios, we have a tiny unmitigated hourly gap right here, as long as a 30-minute gap and the 30-minute intermediate low as well. So 10 a.m. comes around right here, and if you know what 10 a.m. does, 10 a.m. is the point of reversal on most days. If you look back on most of the days, 10 a.m. is kind of the time where you can see a reversal on the day. So this should be a protected low inside of a 30-minute ITL hourly gap, 30 gap. This should be a protected low. We get this nice 1-minute IFVG right here. There's no 3-minute or 5-minute or 2-minute or anything. We have this obvious break-even point with a 5-minute unmitigated gap here. So I figured since 10 a.m. manipulated lower, we would then see this move up to the daily gap over here. Or at least we would see this 5-minute gap getting hit as a break-even to then, if it sends price lower, then we're break-even, right? But if it rips through it, then we are winning the trade. So that was kind of the idea behind this hourly gap, 1-minute inverse, obvious break-even point, 10 a.m. manipulates, so you should see a reversal. Daily fair value gap at your take profit strong draws. It would have been a 1 to 2R. We'll see. I'm gonna leave this here and see how it plays. But yeah, that was the trade. I might have just getting stopped and then it runs, but it's alright. Lost a pretty good amount on this eval, but it's okay. We're gonna get it back tomorrow. So yeah, peace.